Ho, 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 don't you know, no, it's Monday. You can trust that day. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I try to make it a little different every time I do an intro. I don't know, but some things don't change either, I guess. Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy, any money? Money? Wow. What's on my mind? Money? Happy Monday. Could be Money Monday. There's a new show right there. Welcome, everybody. David Burrows here, of course, as always, welcoming you, and very excited. I always get excited about my guests, but I don't know if you've noticed, like the show's kind of changing a little bit in how I put it together, and for the most part, I think most of the time I'm just going to have one guest on every week because I really want it to be focused on them, the guest. So that's this format is changing a little bit. And I'm whatever possible. I'm doing the interviews in person. Some will still be remote, but I think it's important to get back out there one-on-one. Like pre-pandemic, that's what I was doing, and I think I just got used to doing remote. And now, anyway, you're going to see some of the changes. And coming in the new year, of course, I will make some more changes to the show. What's it going to look like? Interviews will be a little bit different. And I'm thinking, I don't know, you tell me what you think in the comments. I'm thinking not just local to Lambton County, Sarnia-Lambton, whatever you like to call it, but beyond here as well. I'm looking to connect with other people that I know in different communities and have them on here as a show as well. Why not, right? And something that I've got coming up in January where I'm going to be doing a show on people's rides, your ride. So motorcycles, cars, boats, planes, whatever. So if you've got a cool ride of the sort and you would like to be a part of the new YouTube series that I'll be starting in January, I would love to hear from you. If you want to reach out to me, you can send me an email. I should have had this all typed in, but here you can email me, david@gvsn.ca. There it is. There it is. If you've got an idea for the show, if you want to be part of the new YouTube series, whatever the case may be, reach out to me. There's my email address. I'd love to hear from you. And share your thoughts on what you'd like to see here in the show. It's time to grow a little more and make some changes, right? So, and I've got a few plans that I'm not ready to share with you just yet. But you know me, I'm always up to something. Right? So, okay, we're going to move forward in just a moment, but of course I always have to say thank you to my supporters. Blue Water Power, a group of companies have come on board to support. Thank you so much, Blue Water Power. Not just here supporting me, but they give so much into the community here. They really do support a lot of events and individuals and people. Like, it's just phenomenal what they do. So thank you so much, Blue Water Power, for coming here and supporting the show. Joe's Discount Tire. I hope you're getting those winter tires on there because the weather, she's coming more and more. And then, of course, for 11 years now, askguy.ca from AG Event Graphics. Just go to the website and look at all the cool stuff, signs they do, car wraps, big truck wraps, and it's virtually unlimited what these guys do, but they've been great supporters, Guy and his staff, for 11 years here on the show. So very grateful for that. Now, of course, Sarnia Sting, of course, off for the holidays right now, but what a great way to start into the holidays. This past Friday, they would go down to Flint to play Flint for the 7th time this season so far and win 4-3. Flint's been a bit of a thorn in the side of the Sarnia Sting, so it was nice to see them come out on top there. We'll be back, of course, at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena on December the 30th, right? We'll be back there for the first time playing London Knights, and so the Battle of the 402 will begin on that day as well. So looking forward to that. I am looking forward to a break. I'm sure the players are as well, but of course the World Juniors getting underway, so it'll be exciting to watch that over the holiday season, Christmas season as well. We'll talk a little bit more about what we're going to see here over the holidays as well, but that'll be after. I got to tell you, I'm really excited, so I'm just going to jump into this. Really randomly reconnected, I should say, with this young lady, Louise Persichetti, who I interviewed probably close to 8-ish years ago when she was in a different location. And both Jennifer and I met her. And we just knew she was awesome and amazing and that she would do great things. And she has continued to pursue whatever it is she decides she wants to do. And she's come a long way, recently winning an award, which we'll talk about in this interview. And there's a lot. So we'll leave it to the interview. Please pay close attention to this wonderful interview with my dear friend, Louise Persichetti. Well, I got to tell you, I'm really starting to enjoy getting back out and talking one-on-one with people. And this young lady right here just came back into my life suddenly, all of a sudden. We were talking about that, the laws of the universe bringing us here again today. Louise Persichetti, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
You still have the same smile and a positive vibe. This is an amazing room that we're sitting in here.
Thank you.
How have you been?
Amazing, yeah. I missed you.
Yeah? Aw, that's nice.
Yeah, I saw you in that book. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks very much for that.
What's the book called again?
It's Pursuit 365.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's a bunch of co-authors in there, and you should be in the next edition.
Thank you.
And I'll say congratulations on your recent Entrepreneur of the Year award with the Outstanding Business Achievement Awards.
Thank you.
Yeah. How did that feel?
A bit surreal.
Yeah?
Yeah, it felt great. It felt, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm not thinking that, I'm going to be an entrepreneur so I can get an award.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
so it was like,
yeah.
it was a special moment to be able to receive that acknowledgement for a lot of hard work.
From other members of the community too, who recognized you, or maybe didn't know who you were. Yeah. Did that bring on some new relationships when you received that award?
I met a lot of new friends, and it's been a lot of fun getting to know them over coffee, and it was a great event. I mean, the Chamber of Commerce, all the volunteers, they did such an incredible job. Yeah, it's a great event. And I remember we were just talking before we started the camera, like the first time I had you on the show was probably 8 years anyway. Maybe more.
Yeah. You were over on Vital Street there in an office. And what were you doing there at the time?
That's when I first started my energy and Reiki and energy counseling business.
Yeah. That was exciting at the time for you too.
Yeah, it's everything just kind of lands where it needs to land. I had no intention of starting a business. Yeah. At the time, the physiotherapist that I was going to, he asked if I was talking about Reiki a lot. Right. He was like, "Oh, you should start doing Reiki," and I was like, "Oh, no." He's like, "Yeah, I have a new office, and there's some spare rooms, and I think you should offer." I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, why don't you just check out the space?" So then I went to the space, and I go, "It's so beautiful." He's like, "Yeah, the 2 rooms. Like, if you were to do it, which room?" I'm like, "Probably this one." He's like, "It's yours," and I'm like,
right.
Yeah. And
he
then
reeled you in.
He did, and I am thankful for that because it put me on a journey, and I started with energy healing, and at the time it wasn't really as much of a conversation as it is now, so I did a lot of education around that. Made business cards and brochures, started stuff on social media, and it was a lot of fun.
I remember that.
A lot of creativity. Yeah. So I feel like it found me. I wasn't seeking it out, but it was an opportunity for me to grow over the years because I feel like as my business has grown, I've grown. Yeah, it's constantly learning.
You have to. Yeah. Right? You can't just sit still.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to just ask you about this, and I'm trying to word this the right way because I think most of us, we think of doctors and medicine. Take this pill, right? And then we hear things like energy healing. And do some people, how do they react to that sometimes? Energy, are we into like potions and lotions here? Or what is, you know what I mean? Like it's different than the norm, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So what is energy healing?
People don't realize how familiar they are to energy. Mm-hmm. We all know energy. You could walk into a room of 2 people arguing and you didn't hear them argue, but you can feel. Yep. You could feel it in the room. Yep. Just the same when somebody walks into the room and you just feel drawn to them. You don't even know their name, but you're just like, oh, who is that? Right. So we all know energy. Our thoughts are energy, our emotions are energy. We're all thinking and feeling things. Mm-hmm. So it's not a foreign thing. And I think what happens is not a lot of people have a language for energy. And so it's unknown to them, and anything that's unknown is either resistance to or fear of. I think it's just a matter of education and getting to know that, and not even getting to know something new. Yeah. It's getting to know a language of something you already experienced. So when it comes to medicine and energy, you know, energy shouldn't replace medicine, and medicine shouldn't replace energy. These two things combined is something I've said for years. I think when that world happens, it's going to be unstoppable.
Right.
The Eastern and Western practices coming together and the mindsets coming together, that's when health and wellness is really going to shine for humanity, because the fact that we're all separated and it's like, oh, I'm an energy person, so I don't do any medicine. It's like, well, really?
Yeah.
Or I'm in medicine and fluff, that's all fluffy energy stuff. It's like, well, that's not right either. And it's, I think as we expand our minds and as we expand our experience and we start to be more exposed to it, when these two worlds combine, it's going to be a powerful place to be on.
That's great that you look at it that way, because I was kind of, we'll eliminate the next question I was going to have, because those two worlds often are just deciding to stay separate. And I love that your outlook there is, let's just combine these two somehow. And I guess you truly believe then we'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, energy was the medicine ancient years ago.
Yep.
You know, they were using herbs and they were using the earth and the planet to heal different things. And there was the shaman and the oracle and all these, you know, the healers of the time where you would go to when you were sick. There wasn't, you never went to school and became a doctor, you know, but now in modern times you go to school, you become a doctor. Well, what's pharmaceuticals?
Right.
Where did it come from?
Yeah.
Where did it start? You know, and then you can combine that with a lot of other, you know, opinions and perspectives, but
right.
Where it started, you know, was energy.
Yeah. I love that outlook. That's cool. Did you think you'd be where you are right now?
No.
Yeah. No.
Every day I'm like, I am here, but I never thought I would be here.
Yeah. So that's the magical part of it for you then, right? Is you just went though. And again, we had quite a conversation before we started the camera. We should have had it rolling, but the magical side of what you're doing, if that's the right word, is we talked about impact on people, right? You know, and you're having that impact. The Royal Arts Healing Academy is what you have now. That started in 2020. Was that the pandemic that brought that creation on?
Yeah, so I was running cafe yoga, and when the pandemic hit, I no longer could run that the way that I was running it. And so I had to think and pivot and decided to close down cafe yoga and create something new. So Royal Arts Healing Academy was birthed in August 2020 of the pandemic. And it was an opportunity for me to go in a direction I've always been wanting to go, which is more online and more global. Serving Sarnia, for sure, people in person, but even online, people from Sarnia and all over the world have been exposed to different services. So I love that aspect of being able to help people anywhere that they are. And that's really how Royal Arts Healing Academy was birthed, with that intention. Yeah.
And so you're still doing online, but are you getting back to a little in person as well? Locally,
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, with the pandemic, it was like open, close, and like see people, don't see people. Like it was. I finally got to the point where I was like, okay, I have to create something that is going to be, no matter if it's open or closed, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, both in person and online.
Yeah. And like I say, that online has expanded you, like I say, because you can do that globally from anywhere now, right? Have you been doing some of that, like out of town? Are you getting those clients?
Yeah, for sure. Doing online classes and courses with people from all over different parts of Canada, the US, overseas in Europe, Australia. So it's been really cool to have people from different places. And then they connect and they develop friendships and relationships. So it's really special to watch that unfold.
Yeah. How do you attract that? Let's talk like from a marketing standpoint, I guess. Like how do you find, or how do people find you, I guess?
Yeah, you know, we find each other. I don't know, sometimes there's a direct marketing platform in terms of like, oh, I do my social media this way and I'm on, you know, Instagram and Facebook and emails and whatever. But like, honestly, sometimes it's word of mouth. I did a lot of, there was a voice app there is a voice app called Clubhouse, and I was on that and meeting a lot of different people from different places through that. And that was a great way to build during the pandemic. But yeah, I mean, there was a time where you would hand out your business card to people at an in-person event, and like that still exists, but now you get to be in people's back pocket.
I don't have business cards anymore.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? And so you get to be part of people's day.
Yeah.
And if you provide a way to connect or a way to provide some sort of value to somebody, then they want you to be part of their day. And it's an honor to be part of their day, you know, to be able to learn about different people, what they're going through, and offer tools and practices. In terms of impact, it's like everything that I share has had an impact on me personally. And I share it because of that.
Okay.
And now I get to watch how other people learn those tools and practices and they experience that. You know, and then they want to share it because that's the innate part of us being human.
What a great concept.
Yeah, it's like, I found this pizza place. The pizza's delicious. You've got to go try it.
Yeah, right.
It's the same thing.
Go see this movie. It was awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, old-fashioned connections, right?
Yeah.
Way of doing it. That's great. And your social media, I have to tell you, has been a journey for me to watch over the past several years. And I mean, probably like you and I are like in the sense of, boy, I don't want to go back and look at that first time I ever did that compared to what I'm doing now.
It's going to be the 10-year anniversary in January of Live in Love with Laura. I just put that together. But in that first video, I have like this Mexican hat. I'm in a room of all these boxes and radio, and I'm talking about how loud the world is and how we have to turn it all down. Oh my God.
And honestly, what's interesting is I watched you, not just for the message, but I was like, what crazy thing is she going to do next? Because you come up with some pretty fun stuff, and you were in places where I'm like, that exists, you know, like, and then that turned into the message, right? And even now, like your Instagram, I see your reels and everything you're putting out there, and that has to be one of the fun things, I guess, that you do. Do you sit down and do you just wing it, or do you? I mean, obviously you have an idea of the message, but getting creative.
It's an opportunity for me to flow my creative energy for sure. Yeah. Sometimes I'll plan out weeks in advance when I'm nice and organized. Other times I'm like, oh, this can be really great. I got to do this right now. I don't know how to answer that. It's just it's an art form for me, you know, and I have to look at it like that because otherwise, like, oh, I gotta do another video, you know. And so, and there are times where it's like, you know, I just would like to not have social media. Actually, I think I probably would be one of those people to live like in the woods by myself with no social media. I would love that, but that's not my mission or my path that I've laid out, because I'm here to help people and to support people, and you have to be with the people to do that. So I think about those woods every once in a while, but I'm happy.
Go visit.
Yeah, and I do, trust me.
You, okay, so you talk about, like, you're inspiring people, you know that, right?
I mean, I don't know, because like, you never know how you're making an impact on people. Some people tell you, but most people never tell you.
I find you inspiring, you know, like, and that's good. Like, we talked about the laws of the universe, like you found me in the book, and I'd been thinking about you, and I said to my wife, I gotta get a hold of her, and then now finally we're sitting here, right? Because you are inspiring. So I'm telling you, you've been inspiring to me, and I know others. We've talked about you behind your back, so you know, and said that Laura, she's wonderful and inspiring. And now, who inspires you though? Like, is there somebody like a Gary Vee or somebody out there that you look up to?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
I think truly who inspires me is when I shut everything off and I, you know, connect deeper within myself and have that inspiration of connection to a deeper aspect of myself, of the divine energy. But I'll also, I will play motivational videos while I'm cleaning or while I'm exercising, and I'll just have that coming in all the time. I don't listen to toxic stuff. Like, I never listen to the news. So I will just have that message playing around me, so it's coming in all the time. And I like and anything like
you are what you eat, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like on YouTube, you can just look up motivational videos, and they'll have all different speakers going through, and that's always really helpful. I have really incredible teachers in my life. I don't know if they're inspiring. They more like, you know, give me a little nudge when I need the nudge. But I think the daily inspiration comes through my meditation practice and just connecting outside of this world. And as far as inspiration from this world, it's like You know, the sun inspires me, nature inspires me, looking at the water inspires me. Like the word inspire is an interesting word in itself because it means to be in spirit.
Yes.
Right? And so it's like, what connects me to that? And it's when I'm connected to deeper aspects of life.
That's a great way to put that, and I'm glad you explained that, because I think a lot of times we do go, well, he or she or they inspired me.
Yeah. Because there's something in you that's connected
you really
to something
inspire. We got to inspire ourselves, don't we?
I think that's when you learn how to do that, nothing gets in the way.
Yeah. Laser focus, right? Zap everything else that gets in your way. Yeah. What's next?
Well, I always have projects on the pipeline, you know, and it's like, what do I share? I don't know what I want to share.
I'm not editing anything, so get it right.
You know, I just launched an online course with my first book.
Okay.
And what was exciting about the awards day was that was the day that I launched, and I never planned it that way. So it was like, it was something I've been working on for a really long time, because in my mind I have, you know, I want to create an online school with like a book and a course and a book and a course. Yeah. And so to have that launched and then go to the awards, in my mind, I was like, I already won. Like I'm celebrating entrepreneurship no matter what happens tonight, because it was like a huge milestone for me. And so it's the first book and course are done. The second book is in the editing process. So it'll be like the next book and course and just be kind of chiseling away at that vision. Yeah. I have a couple other things that I think are just a bit too early to announce.
So I got to come back then. Now tell people about the book, and I just saw something recently about that. Is there websites that we want to tell people where to find you?
Sure. For the book, it's discoveryoubook.com. And you can check out the online course there, and you can register for the online course. I'm starting a weekly mastermind program in January. It's everything's kind of full circle right now, because it was 10 years ago where I had the first mastermind. Yeah. It was in that office that you came to visit. And I had a group of people. The youngest was 17 years old. The oldest was in her 70s. And I was thinking about that group, because somebody I was talking with was like, well, when did you start masterminds? And I was like, when did I start mastermind? Yeah. And I realized it was like initially the book club. And, you know, there was the 17-year-old going through relationship stuff. She's now married and has a kid with that person. Right. The one who was in her 70s, she met the love of her life during that time. They're still together. I ran into them recently. Yeah. Like, it's just fun. Somebody started a nonprofit. Somebody else manifested their dream home. So it was like, I look back at that group, and it was the first mastermind that I was working with. Mm-hmm. And all of the places that they've been to since was really remarkable. So I'm really excited for the January one, because it's like, well, what's going to happen with this group, you know? Yeah. So a mastermind essentially is an opportunity for people to come together, to learn together. And they will be going through the course content. And each week we'll cover some of that, but go a little bit deeper on getting clarity as to what people truly want, and then aligning to that. Because a lot of times people... Well, first of all, kills me is that more than 80% of people don't know what they want. They just kind of check off boxes that they think they want because that's what they've been told. So the fact that there's only really 20% thinking about it, and then even less than that get it, it kind of, it's heavy on my heart, because I think we truly need to be more in alignment to our true desire in life and in living out that joy, because that is what is going to change how we interact with each other. You know, when everybody's miserable doing things that they hate, and then they wonder why life's so terrible, it's kind of like, well, you know,
you're doing things you don't like.
We're creating our life all the time, and we only get one shot at this.
That's a hard lesson to learn, though, right? Isn't it, Laura? When we've been sort of conditioned, if you will, to, you know, like even go to school, get good grades, get a job.
Yeah.
Good, you know.
I don't have as much compassion for it as I have, because we don't really have an excuse anymore when we have all the information in our back pocket. Right. And how are we choosing to use that? Mm-hmm. You know, it's like we're all exposed to people who have gone through horrible things, right. Horrible upbringings, horrible scenarios that they were in, that there was no statistic that was like in support of where they could get to, and they've gone through it. So we just need to be exposed to people who have perseverance, have the ability to break through these belief systems that we're in, and recognize that life can be better. Yeah. Life can be better, and it must be better. It needs to be better. We can't just complain
But
about
we have
life.
to take the responsibility for it.
100%.
The accountability. I've said it to some people before. I'm like, the toughest person you can be accountable to is yourself.
Yeah.
Because you take you wherever you go, right? You can lie to me all you want, but on the inside, you really know the truth, even if you convince me of what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So to be able to think differently, I guess, is at the end of the day. And we've heard that, I think, from books. Why are there so many books being written about, the power of positive thinking or mindset? Because it's that big of a thing that we could just go on with it forever. And how do we change? And we don't like change, or I'm comfortable, right?
Yeah.
So when somebody comes to you for energy healing, do they have to get out of that zone? Do they got to step out of the box a little bit? Or do you help them get out of the box a bit?
Yeah, definitely help. Most people come because they need something, they're struggling, they know there's something more, but they don't quite know where it is or how to find it. That's insert me, that's where I come in. And it's not a matter of telling people what to think or what to do. It's a matter of reminding people where to look, which is essentially an inside job, going inward. We want to be like, oh, when I get this product, or when I go here, when I get the vacation, out, 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 out. It's like when you are reaching outside of yourself, you're never going to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
That's happiness. Happiness comes and goes with that one thing. I'm looking for joy, which is where you really bring it from the inside out. And so when would people come? It's essentially out of curiosity. Maybe on some level they do need to be open to thinking outside of the box. They don't necessarily have to quite be there. But where I see people go extremely far with the tools that I have is when they are open, when they're curious, and there's a sense of wonder or hope. They have, and even if somebody's like fully given up, it's like sometimes you have to hit the rock bottom before you start climbing back up, right? Because there's nowhere else to go. Hope is a great thing.
Yeah. I get that from Shawshank Redemption, right? Hope is a good thing. At times, it's the best and the only thing, right? So, I got to tell you, I could go on. We could do a whole 2-hour show here. I enjoy talking to you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
And you talk about energy. As I was coming here to your home, there's quite a long hallway.
I was like thinking, it's taking him a bit.
It's a journey in itself. I was just like, wow. And I was all alone in this hallway. But you talked about the energy, and I was like, the closer I got to your door, I'd be like, I can't wait. And I know when she opens that door, she's going to have this big smile, and she's going to be welcoming. And that's exactly what happened. And this conversation's been a great energy conversation too. And I hope you will take the time to reach out to Laura, just out of curiosity even, and have a conversation, right? Just to see where the person's at. And that's royalartshealingacademy.com.
You got it, yes.
And you can get all the information there. Is there anything we missed that you want to throw out to whoever's watching?
I don't think so. I mean, just thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I really, really appreciate it. And anybody listening, make sure that you like this guy, follow this guy.
Sure.
You're an inspiration too.
Well, I appreciate that. And I don't even know how to end this interview because I just want to keep talking to this lovely lady here, Louise Persichetti. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Check her out online, and we'll post all the links after the show. Until next time, bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
Laura, I meant everything I said in that interview, and thank you so much for welcoming into your space in your home. What a lovely home. And we could have talked for hours. In fact, I did. She was very patient with me after I kept talking. We talked about life. We talked about beliefs and things happening in the world. And she finally kicked me out. Okay. Well, I finally said, okay, thank you for your patience. It's time for me to go. We could have kept talking, and I'm sure we will. And we will have her back here on the show in the future. Now, check her out online, royalartshealingacademy.com, to learn more about her. And perhaps if you have some curiosity about what she does, reach out to her. She'll be happy to talk with you. And don't forget what she mentioned about her first book and series, discoveryoubook.com as well, to learn more about that. So thank you so much, Laura. Really appreciate it, and looking forward to next time we coffees in the near future, I'm pretty sure. All right, well, just before I go, I want to say thanks to all of you, because, this holiday season is upon us. So many people, are looking forward to a new year because they go, this is a new fresh start. But, don't wait for January 1st to roll around. You can make a fresh start anytime. But this is a time of year where we sit back and reflect, and the holiday season, Christmas, however you celebrate it, I should say, it's still a very special time of year, and we want to enjoy time with family and friends and loved ones. But take a look around you as well. See who else is out there that maybe isn't as fortunate as you, or maybe you could just give them a happy day by a wave and a smile. 'Tis the season for giving, for sure, but let's reflect and remember how grateful we really can be of the things that we have in our life right now. I know maybe that sounds like Thanksgiving, but it's an extra special time of year. Again, it doesn't matter how you celebrate it, what words you choose. It is a special time of year, and I hope you will just slow down a little bit. Take a look around. What was that? Ferris Bueller, right? He said, you got to slow down, take a look around once in a while, or you might miss something. So take that time over the holiday season. The show will continue on through the holidays. I'm still pretty proud of the fact that I've never missed a week, and we'll continue to have that, tradition here as long as I can on the show. Thanks for watching, everybody. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever the case may be. Really appreciate your time here on the show. That's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I will see you next time right here on the show. Bye-bye for now. Hit it.